How's it going, guys? I am your local hopeless historian, and today we are going to be reacting to Jack Rackham's video, America's Manliest President. Without further ado, let's get into it.
Have an accurate picture of just how manly this man is. Okay,
I did break
Chuck Norris facts
a
that were
bit.
popular like 10 years ago?
There are 10 million people in the world of Warcraft because Chuck Norris.
I remember these commercials.
Turns out they were invented for Teddy Roosevelt.
I did do a bit of a breakdown of Theodore Roosevelt in my reaction to the epic rap battle between himself and Sir Winston Churchill.
Now, young Teddy was actually a sickly kid with terrible asthma, but by age 7 he was already a hunter and a museum curator. It all started when he got a discarded seal head from the local market and proceeded to spend the next 2 years killing any living thing he could get his hands on and stuffing them in his bedroom. He then grew up to be a gentleman and a scholar, graduating Harvard magna cum laude and becoming a published historian and ornithologist on top of joining the rowing and boxing teams. Now, crippling asthma wasn't good for such an intrepid young man, so he overcame it with sheer force of will. His doctor
essentially
told him, "Hello, Theodore. Yes, I wanted to inform you that you shouldn't be doing anything that might trigger your asthma. It could have serious adverse effects on your health, potentially leading..."
Gotta stop you right there, Chief. Live fast, die young. Know what I'm saying?
Actually, his father heavily pushed him into all that stuff.
Sunshine. Shortly after his daughter was born, his mother died of fever.
Thank God I have you for support, honey. Where's Alice?
And so Roosevelt makes like Batman and vows to fight for justice. He becomes a politician in New York City, sniffing out corruption and running up against party leaders. Until soon he became a party leader, until soon he lost support. So he did the next best thing and became a cowboy, moved to Dakota and dropped 14 grand on a cattle ranch. Again, he displays his mastery of the art of manliness in a local saloon, when a man with a gun trots in and orders a round for the house, on Teddy. So Teddy socks him in the jaw and knocks him senseless. Teddy Roosevelt brought a fist to a gunfight and won.
I can see that being true with Teddy.
And also because a bad winter killed all his cows, he returned to New York, this time setting out to reform the police force, so that his men were manly and not using the NYPD as a cushy political job.
Man, we need Theodore Roosevelt.
Teddy made campaign speeches for McKinley, and now he's Assistant Secretary of the Navy. But Teddy didn't believe in cushy. He took on most of the duties.
He quit that to become a Rough Rider.
To kick Spain out of Cuba, and the president agreed, but he wanted to kick Spain out diplomatically. And then the Maine blew up. McKinley, to his credit, was still trying to de-escalate the situation, but yeah, that didn't happen.
Roosevelt, I'm afraid we're going to war.
One step ahead of you, Chief. Also, I quit.
What?
Can't waste an opportunity to fight on the front lines. Yeah!
And fight he did, going above and beyond anything.
We're riding down to Cuba like,
so
what's
now
up,
he's
bitches?
An ornithologist, a historian, a cowboy, police chief, politician, and a war hero. Just the kind of person party boss Tom Platt needs.
This
to
is
nominate
like
for governor of New York. And
what
Teddy cinches
every
the election.
child wants
Heck,
to
he was
be.
on such a roll, maybe
Just
he could even be
everything.
president
Include a
someday.
spaceman today.
Then the vice president dies, and Teddy's friends tell him, "Hey, you should run for VP." Teddy says no, because the VP does nothing, and then he gets a message from McKinley saying,
"Just so you know, you're not allowed to be my VP.
But then...
Hear ye, hear ye! Vote Roosevelt for VP at the Republican Convention!
Yes, it turns out the party boss who helped put Teddy in the governor's office now wants him out of office. He and his party boss friends run Roosevelt's entire campaign without him, put him on the ballot against the president's wishes, and he won unanimously. So he and McKinley win the election.
I didn't know that about him.
President. And then McKinley dies. Whoops. And look, his presidency is a video unto itself. He broke up trusts, he made national parks, he made it so that food has to be edible and drugs can't kill you, he helped promote a federal income tax and an 8-hour workday, he passed nearly as many executive orders as the previous 25 presidents combined, and he panned a Panama Plans canal. The man's face is on a mountain next to the guy who won the Civil War and 2 of the guys who made the country. Let us just take a moment and acknowledge his legacy. And now let's move on to the fun stuff. It's 1908, and Teddy chooses not to run for a 3rd term. Instead, he installs his friend Taft as basically a younger version of himself, and runs off to Africa where he kills 11,000 animals and brings their bodies to the Smithsonian. When he gets back, it turns out Taft isn't Teddy Roosevelt 2.0, so Teddy starts rethinking that 3rd term. But Republicans
becomes the
aren't
Bull
about to give
Moose
up their
Party.
incumbent president for someone who was only supposed to be VP. So Teddy makes his own party. It was during his third-party presidential campaign that a man in the crowd shot him in the chest and he died. kidding. Bullet passed through a steel eyeglass case and 50 sheets of paper, but yeah, it definitely pierced the skin. So he begrudgingly tells the crowd,
Sorry, friends, but I've just been shot, so I'll have to keep this short.
30 minutes later,
Because I believe the American people can decide for themselves, not now.
another hour later,
And that, friends, is why you should vote progressive. All right, you can help me down now. I'm feeling kind of dizzy.
despite all that, he ended up splitting the vote because first past the post is a terrible system and Wilson won instead. So what does a man like Teddy Roosevelt do in a time like
He is the
this?
most successful
He explores
third-party
an
candidate
uncharted river
in the
the
United States
treacherous depths
history.
of the Amazon. On this charming trip, one guy dies, one guy gets murdered, and one guy gets left for dead. And Teddy gets an infection so bad he starts reciting another man's fever dream. Then one of the most traumatic and devastating conflicts in human history popped up, and 58-year-old Teddy spotted an opportunity to relive his glory days. He wrote to the government saying,
Ooh, put me in, Chief. I can take him.
and he got permission from Congress, but Wilson was a total buzzkill and said no. Then Teddy developed some breathing trouble, his doctor made him
Man,
feel better, and
Roosevelt
then
would have had
sleep
so much
active
fun. I think he would have died,
in the
though.
face. Okay, free stuff. You want more Teddy? Boom, conservationism, life lessons, all on the Great Courses Plus, but there are umpteen thousand other courses.
That was a phenomenal video. Yeah, Theodore Roosevelt was one of the most badass historians in all historians and presidents of all history. I really wish that someone could simulate a fight like mixed martial arts rules between him and Abraham Lincoln, because Abraham Lincoln was also an avid wrestler. That seems like it'd be pretty cool. That's it. Like, comment, subscribe. Video done.